friends, today we're going to read a book that we haven't read before, and it goes with our handwriting without tears. It is Mat Man Shapes. That's my title. My author is Jan Olson. She writes the words, and my illustrator is Molly Delaney, and she draws the pictures. If we made Mat Man with a rectangle, what would Mat Man do? He'd be the real Mat Man, and his mat would be blue. If we made Mat Man with a circle, what would Mat Man do? He'd roll around the floor, then he'd roll right out the door. And there he is with the circle. If we made Mat Man with a diamond, what would Mat Man do? He'd float up high into the sky, then he'd look down and wave bye-bye. If we made Mat Man with a triangle, what would Mat Man do? He'd hold the triangle in his hand, then ding, 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 in a marching band. If we made Mat Man with an oval, what would Mat Man do? He'd sit with Humpty on the wall, then he'd hold him so he would not fall. If we made Mat Man with a moon, what would Mat Man do? He'd go outside to tell the cow, ready, set, jump over me now. If we made Mat Man with a square, what would Mat Man do? He'd take a partner to a dance and do-si-do at every chance. If we made Mat Man with an octagon, what would Mat Man do? He'd stand in the street like a traffic cop. He'd make the cars and buses stop. If we made Mat Man with a hexagon, what would Mat Man do? He'd count his sides from 1 to 6, then he'd stoop and pick up sticks. If we made Mat Man with a star, what would Mat Man do? He would make your wish come true, one special wish just for you. If we made Mat Man with a pentagon, what would Mat Man do? He'd say, count my fingers, look alive, count my corners, and count to 5. If we made Mat Man with a heart, what would Mat Man do? He'd give us each a Valentine and say, I love you, please be mine. If we made Mat Man with a blue rectangle, what would Mat Man do? He'd say, that's my mat, that's my mat, bright blue. Shapes are fun to do with you. The end. And in this book we had Mat Man with a rectangle, Mat Man with a circle, Mat Man with a diamond, and Mat Man with a triangle, Mat Man with the oval, and Mat Man with the moon, Mat Man with the square, Mat Man with the octagon, Mat Man with a hexagon, Mat Man with a star, Mat Man with a pentagon, and Mat Man with a heart. Bye, friends.